Good morning, parents. Good afternoon, parents. Good evening, parents, depending on when you're watching this video. This is Mrs. McCrae. Happy New Year. I wanted to make a video to kind of give you some information. If you aren't able to make it to the Parents at the Round Table, still wanted to provide a resource for you so your child can have an opportunity to kind of rehearse this information, have this information, and you guys can support your student at home, your child at home, with some of the information so we're all on the same page. Wanted to talk to you guys about how to approach the FSA style essay that they will have to take in March. And right now we're at like that midpoint, jumping over hurdles, making sure that we are practicing good strategy and so on. One of the things, I'm just going to go over this list real quick and then show you an example of a sampler passage and a fourth grade student who responded to that passage, to that prompt. So one of the things that I've taught students, they preview the text, they look at it quickly, but they immediately read the directions and the writing prompts, and we'll see one in just a moment. After they read the directions and writing prompt, they really need to analyze the information within that writing prompt to understand what they're going to write about or what they're reading for. It really sets a purpose for their reading, and it helps with their time. The way they're going to analyze the prompt, they're going to circle the mode. The mode is, they have two choices. They have either an informational or an opinion essay. It's not that they have a choice. They're going to be given a mode, and they have to determine what mode they're writing in. That's either an informational essay or an opinion essay. Number 5. Underline the topic you will write about. That's very important. Again, that helps sets that focus. So when they're reading the passages, they know what they're looking for. Here we have choose a text code. When we talk about text code, when we look at the prompt, that's just a code where they're going to underline and put a little code to help remind them why they underline that detailed from the passage. A text code, it could be 1 letter, 2 letter, nothing, not a long code, just something real quick, just a reminder, so when they're going through looking for evidence to support either the topic or their opinion, it's a real quick and easy way to find the information. Once they have done this, they need to go back and read the text, read those passages. While they're reading, they're going to text code that important information that supports that topic or supports their opinion for that topic. After they've done that, then they're going to move into planning. When we plan, we use something called BMME/sources. The B stands for beginning, M, middle, end. So first paragraph, second paragraph, third paragraph, fourth paragraph. And on the side is where they're going to list their sources. They're going to list the names of those passages, because in fourth grade, it's very important that they give credit to where they found the information, teaching them to cite their sources in a very simple way on their level for fourth grade. After they've completed number 8, they've planned, they're going to write an essay that includes an introduction, 2 middle paragraphs with 1 main idea and supporting details for each of those paragraphs. Within those paragraphs, they're going to include examples from the text. They're going to include an anecdote. An anecdote is a little short story that provides insight. They're also quoting the text, paraphrasing the text. That inside piece, that anecdote, is an opportunity to connect with the topic using creative writing. Yep, it hasn't gone away. We're using it in a clever way to make sure that we get in those that figurative language, making the paper a little bit more interesting, adding some pizzazz. And then we have a conclusion paragraph. So that's how you approach an FSA style essay. Now here we have an example of a passage that was given. This was an FSA test that was given that has been released. Here you can see it's listed source 1, the title of that source. It has the author. Paragraphs, notice the paragraphs are numbered. We have a second source. Paragraphs continue to be numbered. A third source, paragraphs are numbered. Paragraphs are numbered. So here we have 3 articles that they would read. Here's an example of the prompt. Here we have the example of the prompt that's listed here. The teachers in your school are planning activities for students. Write an essay for your teacher in which you give your opinion about whether students should do activities to improve schools. Now, automatically they may have a reaction and saying either yes, no, no, depending on, the student. But they can't just base it on their background information alone or just on their feelings alone. They have to support their opinions with evidence that come from the text that they've read. So here we have 3 sources, and you see the names of these 3 sources. Going back to here, I mentioned earlier with our FSA style, this writing prompt is what the students need to read first. They need to find out and set the purpose for why they're reading. They need to analyze this prompt. What is the mode? Oh, we're writing an opinion piece. I always have the students to circle it so that it's eye-catching. Then I will have the students to underline the topic. The topic, whether students should do activities to improve the schools. That part I would have them to underline. Then I would have them to come down here in this space and create a text code. A code that when they come across the evidence that support, yes, students should do activities to improve the school, I would just, let's make it simple, create a why. But sometimes we have some creative thinkers and they may do a code like IS or a letter A. Sometimes they're very creative when they come up with it. But for this, a simple text code could be yes or no. Now that fits for this one, but that's not all opinion pieces. So that's just one example. Let me show you a student. This paper scored a 10. So I just want you to quickly just kind of look at it. Look at how it's organized. Look at how it's written. We haven't even gotten into the content yet, but this student scored a 10. 4 points for purpose, focus, and organization. 4 points for evidence and elaboration, and 2 points for conventions. The highest score a student can get is a 10. So I just want you to look at the structure. It has a beginning, a middle. The middle overflows to the next page. This is their second middle. The second middle kind of overflows to the next page, and then their conclusion. So here I just wrote down some pointers. Voice is not on the rubric. However, this person added so much voice and it makes the paper interesting. It keeps the reader engaged. So anecdote. Anecdote is included in this paper. That's providing insight. There's purposeful fragments like garden and wow and cool. And I think they hook our reader with a purposeful fragment. It's done intentionally. They have great transitions for their paragraphs. To start with, this reminds me, and in their paper, they cited their sources. So I just wanted to give you a quick video and just a look on, hey, what does a 10 paper look like? What does my child need to do to be successful on this FSA? How can I help them practice more? Just wanted to give you a little insight on how you and your student can be successful and reinforce the things that we're learning in class. Have an awesome, awesome day.